Noles All Access is brought to you by Visit Tallahassee, Seminoles, the Bank of Here, the energy-saving conservation programs of Tico People's Gas, real Coca-Cola taste with 0 sugar and 0 calories. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, taste the feeling. What's going on, y'all? Jay Sutton here with another episode of Noles All Access, where we take you inside Florida State athletics. And look, last week we brought you part 1 of a very exclusive interview with head football coach Mike Norvell. And this week we are so excited to bring you part 2 of that interview. Coach Norvell joins the voice of the Seminoles, Gene Deckerhoff, for a video chat conversation talking all things Florida State football. From spring practice to new players, veteran players, and his outlook on the upcoming season in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic. You won't want to miss today's show. So stay tuned for this special interview with Mike Norvell coming up next on Noles All Access. Welcome back to this special edition of Noles All Access. Today, we're bringing you part 2 of an exclusive interview with head coach Mike Norvell and the voice of the Seminoles, Gene Deckerhoff. They're going to talk about new and returning players, how the team is staying connected during this pandemic, and the excitement for the upcoming season. So let's jump right into the conversation.
Gene Deckerhoff along with head coach Mike Norvell. We're in each other. You're at your home and I'm at my home, and we're in our home offices, and we're talking Florida State football. Coach, that's called social distancing, as I understand. Coach, a few weeks ago, we were supposed to play our spring game, Coach, and a chance to see your team in action for the very first time did not happen because of the pandemic, the coronavirus, COVID-19 thing. It didn't happen, but spring practice started just before everything was closed down, and you had a chance to see this team, including some young players that are early enrollees, 11 early enrollees. What did you see in the first 3-4 days of spring practice out of these young guys?
Well, I mean, it was good to be able to get on the field, and more than anything else, for our football team, you mentioned the 11 newcomers, but for our team in general, to get an understanding of what the expectation is. To be able to learn that standard, you have to go through the experience. And so to at least be able to get those 3 days in, to see how a practice was going to function. Obviously 2 of those days were just in helmets. So, there was a lack of some of the physicality and understanding in that regards, but it was still a great experience for our guys to see how we were going to operate, the efficiency of what we were going to try to do, the sense of urgency and everything that we're trying to accomplish. And it was a good first week that we had. Really more than anything else, I was hopeful for the experience and to be able to develop the confidence through the growth of what we do through spring ball. I mean, you look at winter conditioning, you look at all the games that we were able to have in that regard. You look at what we've been able to accomplish academically throughout this semester. Kids, they develop confidence when they get to see the results in what you're asking them to do and the way that you're asking them to do that. I think you saw growth in every one of our in each of those 3 spring practices. But obviously it's something that we were hopeful to get more of. But it was definitely impressive to see some of the young talent that we have that we've been able to attract, and to see them out there on the field was definitely impressive.
Coach, you brought in a freshman quarterback from Valdosta, not far away from Tallahassee, Florida. You got a running back that transferred from Texas, A&M it was, and then you brought in a punter from Australia, Coach. How'd you recruit a punter from Australia?
Well, that was one of my actually first commitments that we got. I knew that we talked about special teams earlier and the importance of that phase of the game, and I think Alex Mastromano, he is one of the most talented young men that I've had the opportunity to recruit at that position, and it's definitely quite a journey to get him here. But he had a great understanding of the expectations here at Florida State, and obviously the wonderful tradition that we have here. And when we were able to extend him an offer, he was fired up to come be a part of the family. And you talk about some of the newcomers. Tate Rodemaker from Valdosta, Georgia, was a I think 7A player of the year, offensive player of the year in the state of Georgia. Did a remarkable job. I'm really excited about what I've seen from him him, early in this process for somebody that should be going through a senior year of high school, finishing up. I mean, the way that he's understanding information, he had a really good first 3 days. Was excited about that. Jay-Sean Corbin, the transfer from Texas A&M. We got a little bonus when we heard that he got his NCAA waiver for immediate eligibility. We think he's a big time talent and somebody that's going to help bring a different dynamic to our backfield. With the loss of Cam Akers to the National Football League, we're looking to really enhance the competition at the running back room. And obviously we like to distribute the ball to a variety of different playmakers, and so we think Jay Sean's definitely going to be a great hit for us. And among other guys, you look at a couple of defensive newcomers that really had an early spark. You look at Stephen Dix Jr. There from Dr. Phillips High School. I mean, Stephen is a guy that I think is going to put himself in a position to be able to make an early impact at the linebacker room. Josh Griffiths there at the defensive end position was very, very impressive in his first 3 days. Young man that we were able to get from IMG. So we got an impressive group of newcomers, and definitely looking forward to seeing their continued development.
What do you see in James Blackman and his growing development as a junior at Florida State?
Well, it's great because we're not only were we able to see James and work with him, but also Jordan Travis, who also got some game experience last year. And unfortunately, for James, I mean, you look at having 4 different offensive coordinators in 4 years. That's that's an incredible challenge. You think about that in any job, in any profession, and you tie that to being a college age student athlete. I mean, you're basically learning a new language every year. And so James is excited about the opportunity. I've really been proud of the work that he's put into it. Brings a great spirit to practice and our workouts. And it's going to be every day we're pushing and challenging, trying to get the absolute best out of him. While building a relationship for an understanding of the expectation. And the same thing for Jordan. I thought he had a good first couple of days as well. And so I'm excited about the competition we have there. But those are both young and talented young men that I think have an opportunity to make great plays here with what we're doing.
I guess all the quarterbacks in that quarterback room were very excited when Tamarian Terry said, "Hey, Coach, I'm going to come back and play my junior year." A lot of folks thought that Tamarian was probably going to go pro the next level, but you had a conversation with Tamarian. He said, "I like what you're talking about." Tell us about Tamarian Terry and what he brings to this Florida State team in 2020.
Well, I mean, that entire receiving core is a group that I'm excited about. I think we've got some dynamic playmakers. Tamarian is a young man that I think has an exceptionally high ceiling. I think we saw great flashes of that last year, as a big play receiver. The thing that I challenged him with, really as we were getting to know each other was, I want to help develop him to an all-around receiver in every aspect, continuing to work on the consistency of what he's doing. I think he has all the tools of what it takes to be an elite level receiver. And it's about that continued growth, the continued development. We're having to build a lot of trust here together, early in the process. And I've really liked how he has responded. I told him that the day that he elected to come back and to be a part of this is that when you come back, there's going to be a target on him. Anytime that you're 1,000-yard returning receiver, I mean, people are going to know who you are. So you got to embrace that. And I'm coaching him as hard as anybody, in every aspect of what he's doing, and really been pleased with his response.
Stay tuned for more of this special interview with Mike Norvell coming up next on Noles All Access. Welcome back to the special edition of Noles All Access. Let's continue listening in to this exclusive interview with head football coach Mike Norvell.
This Florida State defense, anchored by a guy that everybody thought was going to go pro, Marvin Wilson. Tell us about Marvin Wilson and the commitment he made to you in this football program.
So excited about Marvin, and not only the player that he is, but the type of young man and the leader that he has an opportunity to become. I mean, he's somebody that has worked extremely hard since he's made that decision to come back, because he wants to leave a legacy here at Florida State, and we have a wonderful tradition of elite level defensive linemen, and Marvin has a chance to put himself in that upper echelon of guys that have been able to wear the garnet and gold, and excited about what he's done and what he's going to continue to do. You hear moving forward, and he's embraced that challenge, much like I talked about Tamarian earlier. When you come back and you put yourself in that position, you've got to be pushed harder than anyone else, and so that's been a big focus. And he's responded at a very high level. And I think much like that receiver room on the offensive side, our defensive front, especially there, in the defensive tackle room, has got a chance to be one of the best in college football. But with those expectations, there comes great challenge, and so we're pushing them each and every day. And Marvin is a special young man and has been one of our hardest workers since we walked through the door.
Marvin Wilson will anchor a defense coach that has some experience, particularly on the defensive line. Tell us about the defensive secondary, which we gave up a lot of big plays last year. Talk about the defensive secondary.
Well, I think even with Marvin, you talk about making that choice. It shows the importance of the program and how he wants to leave his legacy, and being able to help impact others. And so as we transition through the defense, we do have a lot of experience that's returning. Last year we were young in the secondary. We're able to play a lot of different guys, and we're continuing to enhance that competition, and looking to put the guys in the best position to be successful. And I was pleased with what I saw from our off-season workouts. As we were continuing to build for spring practice, and got to see some great flashes. There early in what we were doing those first 3 days. But it's going to be a competitive group. We're gonna be able to move guys to a lot of different places to continue to enhance that competition. But you're definitely excited about what I'm seeing, and then some of the guys we're going to be able to bring in to further enhance the competition that we're going to see.
Coach, for the first time in almost a decade, on special teams, you're going to have a new kicker that's not named Aguayo. You had Roberto for 3 or 4 years, then you had Ricky for 4, and it's going to be different. You got place kickers, you got a punter from Australia. Talk about special teams. You got a returner selected yet? You're going to wait till the season starts.
That's a great thing about our roster right now, is really in all special teams unit, there's going to be competition at every position, and whether it's the field goal responsibility and the job, whether the punting job, there's going to be a great competition there at snap as who's going to be our deep snapper, and then also at returner. Obviously you see a guy like DJ Matthews, who I think is an extremely explosive young man. Keyshawn Helton, Pokey Wilson, guys that I think have shown some flashes throughout their career. But the thing we're looking for is that consistency, and somebody that's gonna be able to make the right decision, put our football team in a great position to be successful. And so I'm really looking forward to the special teams competition as much as anything else, because I think we have some great tools to work with, and it's just about finding the right fit and the guy that's going to you'll be able to make the biggest impact consistently for our football team.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with more of this special interview with Mike Norvell. Welcome back to this special edition of Noles All Access. Let's continue listening into this exclusive interview with head football coach Mike Norvell.
Coach, we talked a little bit earlier about football recruiting, football staff hiring, spring practice cut short after 3 days. And this is the time of the year that head coaches like to get out and meet and greet. The Seminole Booster Spring Tour with Mike Norvell was we had about 17 cities you were going to go to and have a chance to rub elbows and fist bump with Seminole Boosters all over, from Charlotte to Miami, Pensacola to Naples. You're missing that experience this year, because I know our Seminole fans are missing seeing you too.
Yeah, that was something I was so looking forward to. I mean, one of the greatest things about coming to Florida State, and the thing that's really stood out more than anything else, is just the incredible fan base and support that we have. And I mean, it has been a joy, not only here in Tallahassee, but everywhere I've been, on the road recruiting, getting a chance to hit, basically every aspect of the state. I was really looking forward to getting a chance to be around our fan base. And, I know that we're trying to do the best that we can. I know with the Seminole Boosters, we're doing a weekly show and kind of interaction. Being able to give updates on what we're doing and what that looks like, but it's just not quite the same as being able to be among all of our friends and supporters. We're excited about what the future holds, and I can't wait to be able to get out and see everybody. But we definitely are so grateful for the support that we are receiving, because it's such a critical necessity for what we're doing here as we push forward.
The coronavirus COVID-19 thing has completely eliminated this year's spring tour, and I know once this thing is over, Coach, fans are going to want to see you up close and personal. We'll get that tour started hopefully next spring. Okay.
They can get to come and see us up close and personal here this fall, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody there at Doe Campbell, and it's going to be a great experience. But can't wait to get out next spring and get a chance to shake a lot of hands and meet a lot of great people there face to face.
Stay tuned for our final segment with head coach Mike Norvell. Welcome back to this special edition of Noles All Access. We're almost out of time, but before we wrap things up, let's listen in to Gene's final segment of his conversation with head football coach Mike Norvell.
Coach, all sports, pro sports, NBA, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, all NCAA spring sports came to a screeching halt as our nation, in fact, the whole world, fight this disease. Our football team had a member that was diagnosed with coronavirus, COVID-19. That's Andrew Bissett. Not only Andrew, but his entire family was diagnosed with this horrible disease. Both had close calls.
Absolutely, and I think that's that's a great awakening when it hits close to home and you see the impact it can have. I talked to Andrew, obviously when his father was diagnosed with it, he was the first person in the family, and just how serious that was. His dad was in ICU. It was, it was a daily struggle. And then when Andrew went through the experience, this is a college age, student athlete that's in his senior year, and to hear the impact that it had on him physically, and it has an incredible toll on the body. And obviously there's so many people across the country that have unfortunately lost their fight against coronavirus, and so this is something that is real, and we do have to make sure that we're doing our part and taking those preventative measures so that we can make sure that we're doing the best thing, the best method possible for us to keep others from having to go through those experiences. But our thoughts and prayers are definitely you go out to everybody that's having to go through that battle, and just that we can all stay safe during this time.
And a tip of the Seminole hat to first responders, the doctors and the nurses, the first responders, law enforcement that are involved hands-on this pandemic around our country. We got to tip our hat to those folks.
Oh, there's no question about it, and the impact that they make. We talk within our football family of the core values of who we are, and it's service, sacrifice, and respect. And you see those first responders. That's what they live each and every day. They're serving others. They're giving of themselves and sacrificing with having to be away from their family, having to put themselves in a position of danger in a sense of what they're having to do every day. But they're doing things that are so very respectable. And obviously we respect the job that they have, and so grateful for what they do and what it affords and allows us to do as a country.
And somewhere down the road, we're going to have a chance to start our 74th season of Florida State football. I know you and your team and FSU alumni, FSU Seminole boosters, season ticket holders, our students can't wait till toe hits leather and we get the Mike Norvell era started at Florida State. Coach, I can't wait.
Well, I'm so excited about our future, and just honored to have the opportunity to represent this great program, this great university, and all of Florida State Seminoles that spread across this country. And so I'm grateful for this, for what the future holds, and just so excited to be a part of this wonderful program.
Stay well and stay safe, Coach.
All right, you guys all continue to do what we need to do, staying safe and taking those preventative measures. But we look forward to seeing everybody soon, and go Noles.
This is Gene Deckeroff for head coach Mike Norvell. Thanks for joining us, and go Seminoles.
Well, that is a wrap for today's show. We just want to give a special thanks to Gene Deckerhoff and Coach Mike Norvell for their great conversation. And to all of you out there, we wish you good health during these challenging times. And to our athletes, we look forward to seeing you back out there competing soon. But until then, everyone, please stay safe and go Noles.
Noles All Access is brought to you by Visit Tallahassee, Seminoles, the Bank of Here, the energy-saving conservation programs of Tico People's Gas, real Coca-Cola taste with 0 sugar and 0 calories. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, taste the feeling.